In case we've never met before, hello, my name is Brock Johnson, and it's my job to help you grow on social media. I have a specialty in Instagram, where on Instagram, I've grown by over 500,000 followers in the last 2 years, and I've helped thousands of our club members grow as well. In fact, countless members of our club have now reached over 100,000 followers, and actually one of our club members has the most viewed reel in the history of Instagram. Before we get into these 12 advanced Reels strategies, if you want to know more about joining our Instagram club, go ahead and visit the link in the description to get a special trial offer. The first advanced Reels strategy is what I like to call trend forecasting. As we all know, using a trending audio can be effective on Instagram, but in 2023 and into the future, it seems like using a trending audio is less effective than it was in the past. And that's true. And that's because trends are moving a lot faster. People are jumping on these trends a lot faster. And just the overall effectiveness or engagement of a popular soundbite or trending audio is less effective than in the past. It's kind of lost its luster a little bit. But one reliable way that you can effectively continue to use these trending audios is by getting out ahead of the trend. Basically being one of the first people to use the trend, oftentimes before it's even become a trend on Instagram. That way, you're out ahead of the wave and you're able to catch it and ride it and surf it to perfection. You're able to maximize all of the videos that come after you and use them as ways to increase the views on your own video. A reliable way to trend forecast and know what is going to be trending on Instagram is to look at TikTok. A good example of this was recently I was scrolling through my TikTok feed and I saw the same video come up 4 times in a row. This was a big clue to me that this video template was trending on TikTok. I quickly made my own version, posted it on Instagram, and I got numerous comments asking, is this a new trend? Is this what's blowing up? Is this what's coming soon? It's something that was already popular on TikTok, but was brand new to Instagram. And thankfully, Instagram now allows us to import our own audios. That means if you find a trending audio over on TikTok, you can save that video, go back to Instagram, open up the audio player, and then import that trending audio from the TikTok video and use it in your own Instagram reel. The second advanced Reels strategy is to create text posts or tweet posts or infographics that are Reels. Usually a Reel is a video, and actually all Reels are always videos. But if you use a screenshot of a tweet or a text post that you've made in Canva, you can upload that as a video file and use it as a Reel. Now, there won't be anything going on in this video, there won't be any movement, so it will look like a photo, but we know it's actually just a video that's a still image, if that makes sense. And this is an effective strategy because it takes people a little bit of time to read, especially if it's a really educational post or a great motivational quote or something that's funny, that's a screenshot of a tweet. As people read through those lines and as they consume that text, the time is ticking and the amount of time that they're spending with your reel is increasing. It might even be looping. Let's say that video, quote unquote, is only 3 or 4 seconds long and it takes them 6 seconds to read that text. Well, then your video will effectively play twice. It will loop. And that is a great form of engagement, which the algorithm will really prioritize you for receiving. The third advanced Reels strategy is what I like to call the mini skirt rule. And the mini skirt rule pertains to the length of your content. And it goes as follows. Your content should be short enough to grab people's attention, but also long enough to cover what you need to cover. One of our club members came up with this rule after watching an advanced Reels live training that we did, and I just think it's so perfect because everyone's always asking, like, how long should your reel be? Should it be 7 seconds or 90 seconds or 60 seconds? And there is no magic silver bullet. Every audience is different, every post is different, every account is different. But generally speaking, you want your content to be short enough that it's holding people's attention, especially when it's something like a reel or a TikTok or a YouTube short, something that is primarily a short form video. It's got to be short enough to hold their attention. But also, it needs to be long enough to cover what you need to cover. You need to make sure that there's enough time and space for you to deliver the value that you want to deliver, teach what you want to teach, or captivate in the way that you want to captivate. The fourth advanced Reel strategy is to use negative hooks. Now, using hooks is something that's a general best practice and a great tip if you're not already. At the beginning of your reel, at the beginning of your video, at the beginning of any of your content, you need to be hooking your audience in order to get them to watch the full thing. But using a negative hook has been shown to garner more attention. That's the reason that so many news headlines and so much breaking news that you see on TV and in newspapers is often negative. And as bad as this may sound, our human psychology draws us. We are naturally paying more attention to negative things. So I like to start my reels by saying, stop. And then I'll say whatever you should stop doing, or avoid doing this, or, cancel this, or stay away from this. By putting out these warnings, telling people what not to do, what to stop doing, what to avoid doing, I am still teaching, I'm still educating, I'm still able to share valuable information with my audience and tell them what they should do, but I'm making my hook focused on what they shouldn't do. Because oftentimes, if we're hearing this negative thing, and it's something that we should avoid, something we shouldn't do, something we should stay away from, and it's something that we are doing or that we were thinking about doing, it really grabs our attention that much more. So using a negative hook can be a great way to grab your audience's attention. The fifth advanced Reels strategy that I have for you is creating curiosity within your thumbnail. The thumbnail, or the cover as it's known on Instagram, is oftentimes overlooked. And many times people will just scrub through their video and find a random moment and use that as the cover for their profile. But as a new potential follower or a new potential viewer lands on your profile, they need to know why they should click on a video. And if we want to take it a step further, we should intentionally be making them curious to click on the video. I'm not saying to use clickbait. I'm not saying to use outlandish things and put things that don't correlate with the video on the thumbnail or the cover, but we should be picking the point in the video in which there's the most curiosity, or potentially asking a question in that cover image, which then would elicit more clicks for people to view the reel. My sixth advanced tip for your Instagram Reels is to use color psychology. Color psychology is basically the idea that different colors elicit different emotional responses in our viewers. There's a reason why stop signs are red, why green light means go, why oftentimes when you're on a sales page, the button to actually purchase is green. There's a reason why yellow is the background of my profile picture, because yellow grabs our attention, and I want you to pay attention when you see my profile picture. So different colors elicit different emotional responses. You can Google and find full lists of what different colors mean and what they do subconsciously in our viewers. But once you learn these colors, use them strategically in your reels. Rather than just always sticking with your brand colors, which can oftentimes become boring and mundane, seeing the same colors over and over again, be strategic about the colors you're using. Put your calls to action in green so that people are more likely to do them. Put your hooks in red or yellow so they grab people's attention. Put your general text in black or white so that it's more basic and easy to comprehend. And if you want someone to trust you, and if you want to get an average of 14% more likes on your content, use the color blue. My seventh advanced Reels tip or strategy is to use advanced editing, use professional lighting, use a professional grade microphone. This is absolutely not necessary if you're just getting started, but if you want to take your Reels to the next level, hire an editor, build yourself an entire setup. I know YouTubers who spend tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars on their setups, and on Instagram and on TikTok and on YouTube Shorts, we're still creating video content. So why are we just recording on our phones? Of course, like I said, if you're just getting started, stick with your phone. That's fine. The phone can do a lot. But if you're looking for an advanced strategy to take your Reels to the next level, consider getting a professional microphone, getting some lighting setups, getting a professional camera to film your content on, or even hiring an editor who can really splice up your content and make it that much more engaging. My eighth advanced Reels strategy is to like the comments of your previous post. Now, stick with me for a second as I explain this. When you get a new comment on your posts, you should, I highly recommend, responding, asking a follow-up question, having a conversation. Respond right away, absolutely. But don't actually like the comment. You may or may not know this, but when someone comments on your Instagram post, there's a little tiny heart on the right-hand side of their comment, and that's the like button, which will allow you to like their comment. So like I said, when they comment, respond to it, engage with them, ask them a follow-up question, but do not like it right away. Instead, what you're going to do from now on is when you make a new post on Instagram, when you post your next reel, go back to that previous post and go through and like all of the comments. This will send a little notification to any person who left a comment, and it will increase the odds that they click on and visit your profile. Additionally, it will signal to the algorithm that there is some sort of a relationship here and there is some sort of interaction going on, which will increase the odds that the algorithm will show your new post to that person who commented. And of course, the person who commented is already a very engaged follower, so they're already very likely to see your new post. This is just giving them that extra nudge to make sure they do. My 9th advanced Reels strategy also has to do with the comment section, and it's replying to comments with a reel. You may not know that this feature even exists, but when someone comments on your reel, if you tap the reply button, you'll see that on the left-hand side of the type bar where you would type in your reply message, on the left-hand side of that, there's a little tiny blue photo icon. It's a little icon of a camera. And if you tap on that, it will open up the Reels camera and you'll be able to record a reel with that comment as a sticker on the reel. So you can basically use this for Q&A, for answering questions, to responding to common comments, to responding to haters or trolls, to answering something that may be a point of confusion for your followers. And not only is it a great way and an easy way to come up with content for your reels, it's also a great way to show your audience that you value their comments, that you read their comments, and that their comments matter. My 10th advanced Reels strategy is to use what I like to call a double CTA. A CTA, also known as a call to action, is something that you should be using on every single one of your posts. It's essentially telling your audience what you want them to do. Your calls to action need to be simple and direct. The more simple and easy to perform they are, the more likely people are to do them. In fact, here's an example right now. If you've watched this video so far, I really appreciate it, and I hope that you've learned something new. If you have, press the thumbs up button down below this video right now. I'll give you 3 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Okay, you press the thumbs up button. We're going to continue. That was a call to action. It was simple, it was clear, it was concise. I didn't ask people to write a letter to their local representative. I didn't ask people to jump on their left foot and sing the ABCs backwards. I asked you something very simple and easy to do. Just click on that thumbs up button. Similarly, when you're posting your reels, you should always include a call to action that's simple and easy to understand. But this advanced reels strategy is to include a second call to action, not just in your caption or in your content, but both. I usually say that the content is the best place for the call to action because that's where most people are going to see it. The majority of people who see your post are only going to watch the actual video and not read the actual caption. So if you can only put one call to action for whatever reason, put it in your content, put it in the actual video, in the actual reel. But what I'm saying right now, this advanced strategy is to use 2. One in the reel and one in the caption. Maybe even do a triple CTA by putting one at the top of the caption, a few paragraphs of education and background story, whatever your caption may be, and then a third call to action at the bottom of your caption. My 11th advanced Reels strategy is pinning your own comment. Pinning your own comment is a relatively new feature on Instagram. Of course, you've been able to pin other people's comments for a while, but recently they began allowing users to pin their own comments. This is a great way to get people's eyeballs into the comments section, to get them spending more time with your posts, and to get them to engage or start some kind of dialogue or just comment themselves. So my tip for you is to encourage people to read your pinned comment. Whether that's reading it for background story, an important note or disclaimer, maybe you're offering some extra tips or tutorials or ideas or inspiration. There has to be some sort of value, some reason for someone to read your pinned comment. But once you're there and you give them that call to action to be there to read the pinned comment, it can be a great way to inspire more action, more comments, and a more sense of community in your Instagram posts. My 12th and final advanced Reels strategy is to create your Reels with a specific purpose in mind. And this might sound basic, but this is something that I think a lot of people overlook. First of all, we need to understand that not every single reel is going to elicit the same amount of engagement or even the same type of engagement from people. There are some reels that are going to get a lot of likes. Let's think, what is something that would get a lot of likes? Usually it's something that's pretty, something that's maybe a celebration, an achievement. It's usually something that's maybe about you. Maybe it's something that's funny. But if it's getting mostly likes and it's getting a lot of likes, it's usually going to fall into one of those categories. That's very different than something that's getting a lot of saves. Let's think about a reel that's just like, hey, here's my cute outfit of the day. That reel is likely going to get a lot of likes because it's a cute outfit. But unless you're giving tips for what that outfit is, or the different style elements, or you're giving the different pieces of that outfit, it's probably not going to get a lot of saves. Through that example, I think you could figure out what's something that would get a lot of saves. It's something that's educational, valuable, something that gives some tips or some background or some knowledge that people might want to refer to in the future. So again, different reels are going to generate different kinds of engagement. And the simple way to think about this is, how do you engage with different kinds of reels? What kind of reels are you sharing? What kinds of reels are you commenting on? What kinds of reels are you saving, screenshotting, liking, sending to your friends? And then once you think about that, create reels for specific kinds of engagement. It's unlikely that someone who follows you is going to save every single thing you post. So you shouldn't make posts where every single post is save-worthy or is likely going to generate a lot of saves. You should mix it up so that some of your posts are going to generate a lot of likes. Some of them are going to generate a lot of saves. Some might generate a lot of shares or comments, but creating reels with specific end goals in mind and specific kinds of engagement in mind is a great way to ensure that kind of engagement, keep your audience excited and engaged, and to overall grow your account. Thank you so much for watching today. And again, if you learned something new, don't forget to press that thumbs up button and subscribe for more content just like this.